Let's navigate, let's elevate. Neuroverse, a gift to celebrate. Come and join the tribe, let's unite and thrive. Grow, shine, expand your gifted mind. Let's navigate, let's elevate. Neuroverse, a gift to celebrate. Come and join the tribe, let's unite and thrive. Grow, shine, expand your gifted mind.
Welcome back to Navigating Our Neuroverse, and this podcast is where we dive into the realities of a neurodivergent life, challenge misconceptions, and empower our community. And this is episode 2 of a very special mini-series as we celebrate Neurodiversity Week. And today, well, if you know me, guys, you know I love a bit of a myth bust. But what we're doing today is we're tackling some myths and misinformation about neurodivergence because there is so much out there, especially at the moment. In the news, it is sensationalized everywhere. Social media debates that I've been involved with. Neurodiversity is often so misrepresented, oversimplified, or outright misunderstood. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with some of the biggest myths surrounding neurodivergence and then break down the importance of advocacy for both ourselves and for each other. So, myth number 1. Everyone masks, so why should neurodivergent people get special treatment? Let's start with a common argument I've seen floating around, one that was recently posted in response to a LinkedIn post that I shared. And here's what was said. Neurodivergent identifying colleagues complain about having to mask and want respect of unsocialized behavior as reasonable adjustment. But neurotypical people have to mask too while at work. Hold on to that urge to run out of the office into the sunshine or keep quiet when unjustly criticized. And if we have to respect unsocialized rudeness from neurodivergent colleagues, then we must also respect unsocialized rudeness from psychopathic and narcissistic colleagues. In the engineering industry, where close team working is essential, that's not going to happen. Now, let's unpack this. First, yes, everyone masks to some extent. However, for neurodivergent people, masking is often a matter of survival. It's not just suppressing an urge to take a break or choosing not to speak up. Neurodivergent masking can mean suppressing natural ways of communicating, processing information, or even regulating emotions because past experiences have taught us that being ourselves might lead to exclusion, punishment, or job loss. Second, this post extremely wrongly equates neurodivergent struggles with social norms to traits associated with psychopathy and narcissism. Let's be clear, asking for reasonable adjustments isn't the same as demanding a free pass to be rude or unprofessional. The goal isn't to excuse harmful behavior. It's to create an environment where different communication styles, sensory needs, cognitive processes, and much more are respected. In a truly inclusive workplace, we make space for neurodivergent colleagues without assuming they are incapable of professionalism or teamwork. Myth number 2, ADHD is overdiagnosed. Soon everyone will have it. Guys, this is another claim that frequently pops up, and it's the idea that ADHD is being overdiagnosed, with people rushing to label themselves without real medical need. On my same LinkedIn post, the same commentator said, there was a recent study looking at current rates of diagnosis of ADHD and current assessment waiting lists. If things continue as they have been, then in a couple of years' time, there will be more people with a diagnosis of ADHD than without. So neurodivergent becomes neurotypical. What can this mean? How are we to make sense of that? Now, this is a perfect example of how misinformation spreads. The idea that ADHD is overdiagnosed isn't just misleading, it's outright false. Now, guys, here's what the latest data actually shows. A recent analysis of 9 million GP records found that ADHD is diagnosed in just 0.32% of patients, which is 1 in 9 of the expected cases. That actually means that most people with ADHD are still undiagnosed, and this was published in the British Journal of Psychiatry in January of this year, 2025. NHS data on ADHD medication use suggests underdiagnosis in every area of England, with huge discrepancies in access to care. BBC research shows that only 12% of ADHD prescriptions are issued privately, proving that most people seeking diagnosis are going through the NHS, not buying a label. And long NHS waiting lists make overdiagnosis near impossible. People are waiting years to even be assessed. So, what's the reality? ADHD is not overdiagnosed. It's massively underdiagnosed, in fact. And this misinformation being spread only harms those struggling to access life-changing support. And lastly, myth number 3, self-diagnosis is just a trend. Now, this is the final myth I'm going to address today. This self-identification with neurodivergence being just a fashion statement. This was also on a LinkedIn post of mine, and somebody commented that my colleague recently told me that he is not having an ADHD assessment, but that he's self-identifying as ADHD. Can somebody explain how this isn't a fashion statement? Now, here's the thing. Self-diagnosis isn't a trend. It's absolutely a survival tool. Many people self-identify because getting an official diagnosis is expensive, time-consuming, or outright inaccessible. This formal diagnostic criteria doesn't always reflect lived experiences, especially for women, people of colour, and adults. Understanding yourself through the lens of neurodiversity can be empowering, helping people find strategies, support, community, even without a medical label. Of course, self-identification should be thoughtful, research-based, and on reflection, not just a passing trend. But dismissing self-diagnosis entirely ignores the barriers that many people face when seeking professional assessments. So why does all this matter so much? Why is it so important to push back against myths like this? Because misinformation has real consequences. It fuels stigma. It makes it harder for people to get the support that they need. It creates unnecessary divisions between neurodivergent and neurotypical people, when what we actually need is better understanding and inclusion. Advocating for ourselves and each other means speaking up when we see misinformation, sharing factual resources like the one that I'm doing today, and pushing for systemic change, whether that's in education, healthcare, and the workplace. It means making sure that our stories are told accurately and not just through the lens of media, sensationalism, or uninformed and unexperienced opinions. And most importantly, it means lifting each other up. Guys, that's it for today's episode of Navigating Our Neuroverse, our little mini series for celebrating Neurodiversity Week. I hope you found this really valuable. The more we challenge misinformation, the closer we really get to real understanding and true acceptance. And if you want to keep learning and advocating, do check out the research and resources that are linked in this episode description. And thank you so much for tuning in. And remember that your neurodivergence is valid. Your experiences matter. And together we are rewriting this narrative. Thank you again for joining, and I'll see you on the next episode. And that's a wrap for today's episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, I'd greatly appreciate if you could give us 5 stars on Spotify and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our latest episodes. For even more free support and content, be sure to join my private Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/The Bright Center. It's a safe space where you can connect with others, share your experiences, and find the support you need. Remember, support for neurodivergent individuals and their families can be hard to come by. Please don't struggle alone. I'm here for you every step of the way. Before we go, a special shout out to my client, V4 Victor, who's ADHD and is amazing talent, who created the amazing podcast theme tune. Let's enjoy it one last time today, and I'll see you next week for another enlightening episode. Take care and stay bright.
Let's navigate, let's elevate. Neuroverse, a gift to celebrate. Come and join the tribe, let's unite and thrive. Grow, shine, expand your gifted mind. Let's navigate, let's elevate. Neuroverse, a gift to celebrate. Come and join the tribe, let's unite and thrive. Grow, shine, expand your gifted mind.